Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley, and today I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about what for me were my beauty highlights of 2019. So this is intended to be just kind of a relaxed sort of video. I know that my makeup says party, 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 but my hair says Netflix and chill. I'm also sitting here drinking just a beautiful cup of hot chocolate. It is gray and overcast and nasty outside. It is the kind of weather that you would expect snow, except it's like, I don't know, 45 degrees, so it's not gonna snow here in the Carolinas, which has me super disappointed. I love snow and I haven't had any yet. But what are you gonna do aside from move to a different climate, which my husband will not do? So let's go ahead and talk about what were some of my favorite beauty products from 2019. Now, these may not be all released in 2019, but they're the things that I personally loved using this year. So I have a little small pile right here. I won't be going in any sort of particular order, I don't think, just how they happen to be stacked. So the first thing that I'm going to grab here is a setting spray. So this was released this year. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is the Dewy Set Makeup Mist. I really enjoy setting sprays, even though I don't feel like they do anything to prolong my makeup. I do tend to wear predominantly powder products, so I do really appreciate the way that these sprays just sort of melt everything together and give it a very sort of lived-in cohesive look, if that makes sense. And I really, really enjoy this particular product here. The mister on it is fabulous. Just very fine, very lovely. It smells nice like coconuts. I think the bottle is freaking beautiful. I was so hesitant to buy it to begin with because I thought it was going to be glittery because of the bottle when I saw it on like Sephora and Ulta and stuff. But it's not. It's just a really, really nice product. It leaves my face looking really fresh and nice, and I like it. So that is one of the things that I've really, really enjoyed this year. Another product is going to be this little guy right here. I did a lot, well, I focused mostly on project panning in 2019. So even though I bought a ton of new products like a lunatic, I wasn't using them super duper often because, again, lunatic. But some of the items that you will see here are ones that you'll see from project pans and others aren't. So this is one of the ones that was in my year-long project pan. This is just a deluxe sample size. This is the Becca, what's this actually called? The Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. This is in the shade Light Medium. There are only 2 shades in this product, which is woefully underserving, but that's a different topic for a different video. But I really, really fell in love with this product, and I will definitely be repurchasing it in the future when the time arises because I really loved how it made my under eyes look. So I was a little hesitant when I pulled it into my project because I hadn't found a way that I liked how to use it. So when I first tried the product, I tried using it as concealer. And for me, it was just a little too emollient to do that with. And I didn't like the way it made my under eyes look. So what I actually found that I really love doing is I'll put on my regular makeup primer. Then I will put this little guy underneath my eyes, really kind of blend it out because it is a very emollient product. And then I'll go in with foundation and concealer on top of that. And for me, it's an absolute perfect game changer, really. I know that sounds dramatic, but if I did one eye but I didn't do the other, I don't know that you'd be able to tell on camera just because of the way that filming in general works, but in person, you can really see the difference. So this guy right here was a big, big win for the year. All right, another big, big win for the year that's from my project. Oh, this guy here. It's so flippin' expensive, but I really, really love it. This is the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and I will at some point be repurchasing this. I'm not doing it immediately because I've got a ton of other primers that I really must work my way through first, but this is so good. I love the way it smells. I love the way it feels on my skin. I love the way my makeup looks with this as the primer. This is a beautiful, beautiful product. everybody's skin and everybody's makeup needs and preferences are different, so it may not necessarily be your cup of tea, but it is definitely mine, and it was something that I loved using in 2019 and will definitely be repurchasing. Along those same lines, this is just a deluxe sample size. I have like 2 or 3 of these kicking around, so I haven't needed to go out and purchase the actual full size, which is nice because it's like a $20 product. So any of these little samples I will definitely take. But this is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, and for me this really, really helps to heal my lips. I am a very dry gal, although throughout this pregnancy my skin itself has been leaning towards the more normal side, even slightly combo, we'll see. So that part is kind of new for me, but my lips, oh my gosh, my lips get chapped and dry and peel so easily. And while I'm pregnant, it seems like even though my skin is getting a little bit more oily, my lips are drying out even more than they do ordinarily. And I slather this kit on every single night when I go to bed, and I really, really genuinely notice a difference in the morning. So this for me, absolute love for this year, and I'm sure it will still continue to be a love in the years going forward. One of my very, very favorite things this year has been this mascara primer. Like, I always really felt like mascara primers were gimmicky. It was an extra step, it was an extra purchase, whatever. I got a sample of the L'Oreal Voluminous Base that I fell in love with, and it made me go out and buy the full size. This is probably getting close to being empty, so I am going to have to repurchase this soon. But I really, really love this stuff. It is white, so let me show you. But it's got a natural bristle wand. It is white, but it doesn't dry super white. It dries almost kind of clear, and I appreciate that. So typically what I'll do is I'll put this on my upper lashes. I'll go in with the product that I use as my lower lash line mascara, and then by the time I've done that, this has dried a little bit, and I go in with my regular mascara. And the thing that I love about this is it will take a mascara that I am not crazy about and make it something that I like wearing, which is awesome because, you know, you get samples of stuff. If you are like, well, not me anymore because I canceled all my subscriptions, but you know, I had quite a few subscriptions to different makeup services, and if I get a mascara that works but I'm not like 100% crazy about, I'm not going to just throw it away. That's incredibly wasteful. So when I pair it with this boy here, it's just good results, and I like it. So that for me has been a huge, huge win for 2019. This was also the year that Fenty Beauty came out with their Pro Filter powders, and I love this. I love this. I wear the shade Butter. We'll take a moment. The packaging, sublime. Fenty packaging is most often absolutely stunning. A+. Products in general, I've liked everything that I've tried from Fenty. There have been a lot of things though that I've absolutely loved from Fenty, which is really, really cool. And this powder is no exception. This is what I've been using every day for probably close to 6 months, I would say. Once I ran out of the Hydro Mist powder from my Project Pan, I had picked this guy up here and I broke into it and absolutely adore it. I only use just a little bit of powder to set all of my makeup. Dust a little bit underneath my eyes, over the rest of my face, and it just has this gorgeous sort of blurring effect without being overdone. It never looks heavy or cakey, even when I go in a little bit more heavy-handed with it. It is just flawless. It smells beautiful. It is so finely milled. It is just, oh, it is so good, and it's definitely something that I won't run out and immediately repurchase when I run out, because I've got other powders that I, again, need to just work my way through. But once I'm back in a position where I'm going to be buying a loose powder, I can't imagine a scenario where it's not this one. Another product that I fell in love with during the course of my Project Pan is this super reflective guy right here. I won't hold it up too much. This is the Hourglass. This was the release from last Christmas. So this is the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette. I know you can't get your hands on it, but if the one from this year is still available, it has all of the same products in it. The packaging just isn't nearly as beautiful in my opinion. So this is what the inside looks like. It has a highlighter, 2 blushes, a bronzer, and 2 finishing powders. There is nothing that I don't love about this face palette. As you can see, I really have gone to town on this highlighter. It is what I'm wearing today. It is so stunning. It is so stunning. It gives you that very ethereal, lit within sort of look. I can go light, I can go heavy, and it never looks overdone. So when I say that, you can go in really, really lightly just for that very sort of gentle lit from within look, or you can go a little bit heavier and really get a nice pop and highlight without it looking like it's sitting on top of the skin and never looks thick or chunky. It never looks, and I don't want to say it never looks unnatural because, right, highlighter never looks quote unquote natural, but it doesn't look, it never looks overdone. I guess maybe that's the way to put it. I think the bronzer for my skin tone works really, really well. It is also what I'm wearing today. These blushes are stunning. This one here on the end, this sort of like peachy pink color, I'm obsessed with it. It is also what I'm wearing on my face today, and I absolutely adore it. I know that people have done like a price comparison on like the grams and say that, you know, the $80 for this particular face palette isn't really worth it. And for me, for my consumption, I totally disagree. I love this thing, and to be honest, I'm not going to go out and buy all of the minis and sort of piece them together myself, or the full sizes, whatever the case may be. This is so convenient, so handy, and I love everything that's in it. And for me, that's what really makes a face palette worth the money. If I'm in love with literally every single thing in there, then for me that's worth it. I will be very sad when I do finally use through this guy, and I'll have to be very careful to actually use it all up before trying to replace it, because I do really, really love it. But that blush that's in here is Nude Glow, and I can't remember. I feel like I've looked before and I can't remember if it's sold by itself, but I really want it to be because I am in love with that blush so, so much. I also have a tool, oddly enough. It's super dirty. Please don't judge. This guy here, this is by Real Techniques, and it's just a miniature brush. It's one of their little ones. It is the mini multitask brush. This is what I use exclusively for bronzing, and for me, it's perfect because it comes to a bit of a taper here. So if I just want to kind of get in real deep to try to do some contouring, or it's got enough fluff that I can take it all the way up into my hairline and all along my cheeks. It's great. I love this thing, and I feel like it was super inexpensive. I want to say I picked it up at a drugstore while I was traveling or something like that. So I don't remember which one. CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, something like that. And it couldn't have been more than $10, but it is fantastic. I've watched it about 1 billion times, even though it doesn't really look like it right now, but I have absolutely loved that brush, and yeah, very glad I have it. So the last two things, and realistically, I'm sure there are more. It surprised me how difficult it was to sit down and do this video, because all I could think about were the things that I was panning, and while I like the majority of those products, I couldn't think of anything that outside of what you've seen here that I was like absolutely in love with. And in going back over my purchases for the year, which were plentiful, there weren't a ton that I was, again, super duper over the moon for, and I think that was just mostly because of the project panning. There is one lipstick that I considered bringing in, but it is so, so new to my collection. I can't really say that it's been a favorite for the year, but it might make an appearance next year. We shall see. So the last two things that I have are eyeshadows. So one of them is this palette right here. This is a Makeup Geek palette, but it's holding just a whole bunch of my Sydney Grace single shadows. I love Sydney Grace shadows. I have raved about them in the past, and that is still very, very true. They are such beautiful quality. The mattes, the shimmers, the duochromes. I don't think I've tried anything from Sydney Grace that I don't absolutely adore. Of course, there are some things that I like more than others, but these eyeshadows are definitely top notch. And if you have never checked out Sydney Grace, I highly, highly recommend them because they are absolutely fantastic. And I love these guys. I use them a lot. I know it doesn't look like it because I've got too many pans of eyeshadow, but they are fabulous. They're absolutely fabulous. And then the other, again, I don't think I've even used this on my channel, which is kind of a travesty, but this is the Lime Crime Venus XL2. I bought this, I think back in like February or something. I don't fully remember. But this is such an awesome, awesome palette. I absolutely love the color story that's going on here. It is definitely a very spring-like sort of feel to it. Maybe a little bit of fall, but not a ton. But you have all of these beautiful sort of soft pinky and green shades with some light browns. And then you've got all of these beautiful shimmer shades. This is a stunning palette. I've used it a ton. Again, I know it doesn't look like it because I have way too much makeup. And I didn't use it at all on my channel. And I think, again, project panning and then my Pan Those Discontinued Eyeshadows project, it just never made it in. But I will have to try to find a way to kind of highlight it a little bit next year because, you guys, it is an excellent palette and one that I would very highly recommend. I know Lime Crime is a bit of a divisive brand. I'm very late to the game, so when that was at the height of controversy, I had no idea about it. So definitely take it as you will. I've never purchased from Lime Crime itself. I bought this from Ulta when it released, so take of that what you will. Everyone's got their own personal opinions and I respect all of that. But if you're interested or you've been on the fence about this one, it is really, really good and I totally recommend it. So yeah, those are the things that came to mind when I thought about the things that I was most in love with in 2019. And I would be very interested to know, what were some of your beauty game changers in 2019? What were some of your very favorite products? I'm always fascinated by what everybody likes. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day and I will see you next time. Bye.